The topic of this video is an overview of the RiskMAP program, specifically in the state of Kentucky. Risk Mapping Assessment and Planning, RiskMAP, is a collaborative effort between the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, and the Kentucky Division of Water, KDOW, that will provide communities with flood information and tools they can use to enhance hazard mitigation planning activities and better protect their citizens. Through more accurate flood hazard maps, risk assessment tools, and outreach support, RiskMAP builds on the MAP modernization program and strengthens local ability to make informed decisions about reducing risk from natural hazards. Through collaboration with state and local entities, RiskMAP will deliver quality data that increases public awareness and leads to action that reduces risk to life and property. RiskMAP will focus on products and services beyond the traditional flood insurance rate map, or FIRM. FEMA and KDOW will work with officials to help use flood risk data and tools to effectively communicate risk to citizens and enable communities to enhance their corresponding mitigation plans. Risk is determined by a multitude of factors, including population density, history of repetitive losses, flood insurance claims, and flood disaster, high growth areas, national flood insurance policy base, the number of stream miles, and large or increasing numbers of letters of map change. FEMA's intent is to identify risk based on an annualized average loss hazard study and produce products in addition to the regulatory flood insurance rate maps and flood insurance studies to help manage risk. This slide is a 2011 planning map to prioritize the watersheds in Kentucky based upon their risk. In general, higher risk watersheds are located in the eastern part of the state in more mountainous areas. The lower risk watersheds are located in central and western Kentucky, which are areas of more flat terrain. Risk assessment allows communities to make informed mitigation decisions by providing products and technologies that communicate and visualize risks. Risk assessment equips communities with the information and tools they need to develop effective mitigation plans and provides communities with flood risk information through a flood risk report, flood risk map, and flood risk database. Mapping on a watershed basis improves engineering credibility and opens the door to understanding risks in a more holistic, comprehensive way. It allows for better understanding of flood hazards as a result of more comprehensive assessments of stream and tributary relationships. It also provides a framework to evaluate flood risk, engineering need, elevation data acquisition, availability and gaps, and availability of community contribution by watershed. Quality maps begin with quality elevation data because a map is only as accurate as its base layer. Kentucky is working in a partnership with other state agencies as well as local agencies to collaborate and share elevation data. RiskMAP will provide state and community officials with 3 flood risk products to help them gain a better understanding of flood risk and its potential impact on communities and individuals. These products will summarize information captured through the flood risk datasets during a flood risk study. These datasets include changes since last flood insurance rate map, flood depth and analysis grids, flood risk assessment data, areas of mitigation interest. The flood risk report provides stakeholders with a comprehensive understanding of flood hazard and risk exposure within their community, watershed, or other geographic area. It parallels the flood insurance study report by providing a narrative of the flood risk assessment methodology and results. The flood risk report provides risk assessment information at the project level, placing emphasis on risk reduction activities that may have impacts beyond the specific stream area or community. It also provides risk assessment information that can be incorporated into mitigation plans. The flood risk map is included in the flood risk report. It depicts flood risk data for jurisdictions within the project area, emphasizing that risk reduction activities may have an impact beyond the site. The flood risk database is a primary source to access information collected and developed during the flood risk assessment process. It parallels the flood insurance rate map database. It includes flood risk assessment data collected, created, and analyzed during the flood risk project. The flood risk database will be published and maintained in a standardized form by FEMA to support national, state, regional, and local distribution. Viewing tools will provide users without access to the Geographic Information System (GIS) software the ability to visualize and understand the datasets contained within the database. Risk assessment helps guide community mitigation efforts by highlighting areas where risk reduction actions may produce the highest return on investment. Estimation analyses will be done for flooding sources with default hazardous building stock information. The pursuit of enhanced analysis is encouraged and is achievable by providing FEMA with additional GIS data, such as parcel data, building footprints, or elevation certificates. Results of both the basic refined and enhanced hazardous analysis can be incorporated into hazard mitigation plans. Risk communication motivates citizens to make informed decisions regarding their risk and encourages communities to take the lead in protecting their constituents. It enhances local capabilities to communicate effectively with constituents about risk. Risk communication allows for an exchange of information about risk between FEMA and other stakeholders. It provides customizable communication plans, key messages, and materials to communities, and it also facilitates national and local collaboration through key partnerships. Mitigation planning provides technical assistance, incentivizes risk reduction activities at the local level, and develops the programmatic infrastructure to monitor community efforts. It enables communities to assess risks and identify actions to reduce vulnerability to those risks. Mitigation planning enhances collaboration with and among local stakeholders, and provides tools to improve communities' understanding of risk and facilitate mitigation planning and local risk reduction efforts. Mitigation planning incentivizes local effective mitigation planning and risk reduction activities. Areas of mitigation interest help communities better understand the impact of multiple physical factors on the floodplain elevation and extent. Conditions within a flood risk project area that may contribute to the severity of flood hazard and associated losses include areas with a history of flood claims, hydraulic or other structures that contribute to backwater, such as undersized culverts, bridges, and dams, and areas experiencing land use change or development. By identifying these conditions within the watershed, this product will also assist communities in determining potential mitigation opportunities. Some of the results of RiskMAP products and communication will be more engaged communities, more accurate and precise maps, more effective risk assessments and mitigation plan, more coordination between and within communities, more effective communication to constituents about risk, less confusion about project timeline and scope, less contentious appeals, and less negative press attention.